Call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence for past departed police chief George Shealy, and also he worked for the school district for 20 years. Thank you. All right. Call for the approval of the motion for the approval of minutes of October 24, 2023 meeting. Move second. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Public forum for this evening. Nobody knocking down the door? All right. We'll move on to our presentation for this evening. We'll call up to the podium Lou Rodriguez and Scott Butler under the capital project, Phase 2B, or not 2B.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So tonight we want to talk about the next phase of bidding. This is part of the $19.9 million project that was approved by the voters. We've structured the bidding into multiple phases of work. This is the second big phase of work that we put out the bid, and there will be another phase of work that we put out the bid that's really more site encompassing. This phase of work really was inclusive to security work, auditorium renovation work, rework of the existing elementary school library and offices, OTPT spaces, TV studio renovation, and actually expansion of your TV studio facilities, elementary school main office and nurse's office suite, really reinventing that whole space, door replacements, some boiler room work. If you go back to the loading dock here, you'll see that it's the stairs going down into that space have been falling apart over the years, and some brick facade work. So that's really what we put out to bid in this phase of work. We went out to bid with multiple contracts. We went out to bid with a GC just for general construction scopes of work. We went out with a separate general contractor specifically for windows because we wanted to see what those window numbers would look like. We went out to bid for a mechanical scope of work. Mechanical scope of work really, again, in the renovation areas when you look at the main office renovation and the TV studio area. And then electrical work that was associated with that, some electrical work that was also in the auditorium for some house lighting. And then we also put out a separate theatrical package as well because we really wanted to make sure we were looking at those numbers separately. So tonight we're making recommendations for the general work contract. The low bid for the GC was Empire Group, and again, this work really is all encompassing of all of the security vestibule work. When you look at the auditorium renovations, we have a new control booth for the audio that's going to be built. We also have money allocated for all of the seating replacement. We have some handicap operators. We have some intrusion for the doors. So the project as a whole, when you look at it, per what we promised the voters, is looking pretty good with the GC side of it. So the low bidder was Empire Core Group. $2,072,064 was the low bid, inclusive of some recommended alternates. Contract number 2 for the window replacements, we are recommending to not award this contract at this time. We didn't feel we got great bids on this scope of work. The industry as a whole right now is seeing aluminum in particular is driving prices up. Anything that's aluminum based is seeing prices that were 3 times the cost that they were a year ago. So whereas you would think right now buying copper cable would be more expensive than buying aluminum cable, well, in fact, they're almost the same price right now, which has never been heard of. And the windows that are specified are aluminum, they're aluminum structure, which is standard products. So what we want to do is go back, look at that design, and see how we can value engineer that and put that back out to bid for the first quarter of 2024. And this work would be a summer of 2025 installation. Even if we had awarded this work today, it would still be a summer of 2025 installation because we would not get those windows in for this summer. About the windows, that's correct. So again, we would be coming back to the board with an idea of what the revamped scope of work is with any type of value prior to going back out in the first quarter of 2024. Contract number 3, DJ Heating and Air Conditioning. Low bid, we've done a lot of work with them. Good contractor right out of Marlboro. Recommending their contract, base bid $888,000, and some additional work that's associated with the TV studio. So their total contract value would be $933,000. So we are recommending them. For the electrical scope of work, RLJ Electric, base bid is $489,000, and then you'll see some, some alternates that are associated with the TV studio, some handicap operators, and relocation of some house lighting that's required in the auditorium. So total contract value would be $537,000 that we would be recommending. The final contract, theatrical construction, we are not recommending this scope of work at this time to be awarded. We want to sit down. The scope of work here, I think, grew quite a bit as to what was promised to the community. What we want to do is really go back and see how we can put this thing out to bid again, but put it back out to bid with more affordable scopes. And again, this would be the first quarter of 2024, and this would be a summer of 2025 installation. Total contract values are $3,542,064. Built into these contracts, we have $150,000 worth of contingencies. Any questions?
Any questions for Lou? John?
Lou, I know that we were supposed to meet last week to talk about maybe prioritizing some of these based on
Excuse me, John. Yeah.
Gotcha. I know we were supposed to meet last week to talk about reprioritizing some of these based on some bids that came in too high, which you've enunciated here. So could you go back and just tell us what, I got like the general construction this summer of 2025 for the general construction window replacements. What about the one above that? Is there a time frame on that one? For the,
Yeah, so the scopes of work, all of the work that's listed in the letter, the security vestibule work, the auditorium renovation work, the TV studio work, everything is, we're looking to have it complete by the end of this summer of 2024. And this is all really related to lead times. The only thing that could potentially hurt us here, and I'll be transparent about it, the security entrances with the hardened glazing has been our biggest lift as far as lead times. So that's the first thing after this award. The first thing we would be doing, sitting down with the GC and understanding the lead times on the storefront and the glass. The glass is what's really driving schedule on the security vestibule work. So that's the, that'll be the first question that we ask. And once we know that, we'll be able to give you a better time frame on that. But when you look at the auditorium renovation work, the seat replacements, that's not going to be a problem. The control booth, not a problem. The existing library renovation, again, the library right now, it's an open space, so we're just cutting it up and making offices out of it. The TV studio renovation, so we are actually, part of this was to renovate some of this area here, but really the big scope of work is back in the back shop at the corner where the shop was. So that work will happen this year or by the end of the summer. The elementary school main office, again, that's really, it's opening up that area. And there's, right now, we're going to be working with the engineers to really look at the existing HVAC that's there, because that's really, again, longest lead time there is HVAC equipment. Door replacements, again, we got plenty of time to order doors. The loading dock is all masonry work. Brick facade work is all masonry. So I really don't have any concerns there. So
Thank you, Lou. Anybody else?
it's really the security.
Yep, thanks, Lou. Anybody else? If not, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to board reports. I just want to report that 2 weeks ago we had a board admin retreat where we had an opportunity to meet with the administrators. I thought the meeting went very well, and I thought we got a lot accomplished, and it's always good to sit down and see where we're going and what the goals are and the missions of the district and where we're headed. So I really enjoyed that meeting with the administrators. Any other board members? John?
Yeah, recently, some of us went to the school board's conference and saw some great things. And one of the things that one of the sessions I attended was on interest-based bargaining. The old way of bargaining, both sides come together with hundreds of things they'd like to accomplish in the hopes to get the dozen that they want. And the Rondout Valley superintendent and union president did a presentation. They said it's cut down the amount of time they take to do the bargaining drastically. They've settled contracts in a day or two, which cuts down our cost for the attorney and everything like that. There's mutual training between the sides. And, I hope that the union leadership would work with us if we wanted to take a look at this. Also, when I ask about the number of MOAs that we do every year, it seems like every meeting we're doing an MOA. They use this same method to talk about MOAs that get settled in one short session. So I would suggest, Madam Superintendent, that we contact the Rondout Superintendent and see how they got that started, and if our union president and union would go to it, I think it would make a big difference. One of the other sessions I attended was on resiliency, and it was the only presentation of its kind when talking about all of the mental health issues, the COVID recovery, financial things, kids in having difficult times, that talked about dealing with it from a resiliency point. And I have literature for that too that I'd like to give you, that I think really, rather than teaching kids to say, woe is me, this was finding strength somewhere. And it was one of the best received presentations that I sat in on. And I know Kelly and Lisa also sat in on some sessions as well. So I think that we could look into those things. And Lisa, I was going to ask you, we talked a while back about bringing in a gentleman from a couple of conferences ago that talked about helping with HR and things like that.
We just dug his name out.
Yeah.
Some of the materials from some of us got misplaced, but we have two names, so we are going to bring him in. We're working on it now.
Great.
We think we got the right person. There were two HR people that presented, and Rural Schools sent us both names.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Now we'll move on to our trusty news correspondent, Jack Henry. Jack.
Good evening. So for the happenings and events. Student Council sponsored their annual Thanksgiving food drive. The 8th grade class had the most food in their box, winning an ice cream party. Thank you to everyone who donated to those in need. The junior high winter concert will take place on Tuesday, December 5th in the high school auditorium at 7 o'clock. And the PTO will host their annual Winter Wonderland on Friday in the elementary school. For athletics, all winter sports are underway in the junior-senior high school, and the Rumble in the Valley basketball tournament will take place December 7th, 8th, and 9th in the high school gym. And finally, for fundraisers, the Blue Devils merchandise sale is still up and running. To buy merchandise, go to tinyurl.com/ECSD merch, or you can use a QR code.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to our superintendent, Lisa Wiles.
So just a couple of things. I included in the packet the list of co-curricular activities that we have that was requested by the board, so please take a look at that. I also want to report out that we will be closing on the schoolhouse on the Nevele property in December. There's a resolution to assign the interest of it to another corporation, which was all reviewed by the attorneys, but that will change hands, and we will make sure this time the deed is filed and finalized so we can move forward with that. And the last thing I'd like to report about is the athletic banquet. So as we discussed, we changed the athletic banquet to 2 athletic banquets, one for the fall and one which we'll have in the spring for winter and spring sports. And it was a really good turnout. We had everybody in the cafeteria, and then they went on to the auditorium. So we facilitated that well, and it was well received. A couple of glitches here and there that we're addressing for the spring banquet, but it overall went well, and it was not a 6-hour night. We started at 5, I believe it was 5 o'clock for dinner, 5 or 5:30, and we were done by 7:30, 8 o'clock. So it worked out very well, the timing and the flow of it. And there were a few things, as I said, but we'll work through them. So that's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Move on to Assistant Superintendent for Business, Mr. Vince Napoli.
Thank you. What's not in my report is that we had a very successful Thanksgiving meal fundraiser for People's Place. We served, we didn't prepare, there were about 190 families that received full-blown turkey meals, and I think that served 688 individuals. So it's not our record. Our record during COVID was well over 200, but this was pretty good. Thank you.
Thank you. Iris.
So Vince, I was reading about the tax, you had the tax information in here and what was paid and what wasn't. So the county makes the school district whole for taxes that aren't paid?
Correct. The county, then, anyone who hasn't paid their taxes yet, the county levies it on their county taxes, and then they have a surcharge on that as well.
Okay, and so then they pay us for
Right, and
whatever
then
that
we'll
is.
receive a check from them for whatever has been uncollected, or collected from them.
I
but
just didn't
uncollected
realize
as.
that the county does that for school districts. I
Sure.
knew they do it for, cities and stuff or whatever that is, and I know the village just got that to happen, but thank you.
You're welcome.
John.
Yeah, Vince, I just want to say thank you. I know for years now you've been involved in these types of fundraising events for our community, and maybe people just think it just happens in the school district, but you've been upfront on it, and you've helped so many people, and I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll move on to Deputy Superintendent Kelly White.
Thank you. Good evening. The only thing that's not in my board report that I wanted to share, coming up next Tuesday, December 5th, we're going to have an additional 5 students that are currently in grade 9 be recognized by SUNY Ulster for receiving the President's Challenge Scholarship. So we've been working with them for several years, and during 8th grade, the end of 8th grade, students can apply for the scholarship, and it's for students who are first-generation college students, and they're brought into the program in grade 9. They receive mentoring and college readiness support through high school, and then a fully funded education at SUNY Ulster upon graduation. So we'll be inducting and having a small induction ceremony next Tuesday in the library, and anyone's welcome to attend. If
What
they
time
want.
will that be?
I think it's 5:30. Let me double check, and I'll confirm the time with you.
Okay, thank you. Move on to personnel resolutions for this evening. 6.1, upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be it resolved that the memorandum of agreement between the Ellenville Central School District and the ETS RPA unit be approved as attached. Moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.2, upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be resolved the memorandum of agreement between the Ellenville Central School District and ETS RPA SRP
So
unit.
moved.
It's been moved. Seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. 6.3, family engagement night. Upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be it resolved that Jessica Porter be approved to facilitate student activities and family
moved.
workshop. It's been moved.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. 6.4, registered nurse appointment, modified. Upon the recommendation, be it resolved that a resolution stated 10/24/23 under Personnel 5.14 be modified to reflect Cameron Orr's 6-month probationary period to commence on November 1.
So moved.
It's been
Second.
moved. Seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.5, rescind appointment. Resolved that the Board of Education hereby rescinds the resolution set forth on agenda item 511 under personnel on the agenda of August 1st, 2023 regarding the appointment of Aiden Alderondo for the elementary intramural program.
So moved.
It's been moved.
Second.
Second. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? Mr. Burns. Motion passes. Under 6.6, upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be resolved that the co-curricular personnel be approved at the contractual rate for the 23-24 school year.
So moved.
It's been moved.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.7, January Regents Review. Upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be resolved that the following teachers. The list has been moved.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion. Jody.
We have a few vacancies on here. What are we doing to fill them for the students to get the help they need?
I think they're trying to reach out to some more teachers. Hopefully, we'll have a report back for you on the December meeting.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.8, Elementary School Extended Day Program. Upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be resolved that the elementary school extended day personnel be approved the
So
contractual
moved.
rate for the 20. Been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.9, Junior Senior High School Extended Day Program. Upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be resolved the Junior Senior High School Extended Day personnel be approved the contractual
moved.
rate. It's been moved. Seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. 6.10, substitute personnel. Upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be it resolved the following substitute personnel be appointed for the 23-24. List has been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.11, winter coaches. Upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be resolved the following winter coaches be approved the contractual rate for the 23-24 school year. The list has been moved. Second. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.12, emergency crisis intervention. Upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be resolved that Anise Castillo be paid for emergency crisis intervention on
So
November 3rd.
moved.
It's been moved
Second.
and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No. 6.13, termination. Resolved that upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, the appointment of employee number 3288, who serves in a capacity of substitute cafeteria monitor, substitute teacher aide, and substitute clerical employee, hereby terminated effective close of business November 28th. Moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? 1. Motion carries. 6.14, upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be resolved that Vanessa Nixon be approved as a one-to-one aide to attend after-school activities.
moved.
It's been moved.
Second.
Second. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.15, teacher aide appointment. Upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be it resolved that Daniela Sabaro be appointed to a one full-time equivalent teacher aide position at a contractual rate of 27. It's been moved.
Second.
Seconded, discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. 6.16, substitute security attendant resignation. Upon the recommendation, superintendent of schools be resolved the resignation of Richard Bradford, substitute security attendant, be accepted effective November 28th.
So moved.
Moved, seconded, discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. 6.17, teaching assistant appointment. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be it resolved that Talia Parker, who holds a level 1 teaching assistant certificate, be appointed to a 4-year probationary position in the tenure area of teaching assistant effective January 2nd.
So moved.
It's been moved,
Second.
seconded, discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Legal resolutions. Somebody want to move that?
Move 7-1.
It's been moved.
Second.
Second. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Oh, I didn't have that on my agenda
Yeah.
here, sorry.
Yep.
Didn't refresh. Stand by, we're having technical difficulties. Yeah, I'm doing that, but it didn't refresh because I did that before the meeting started. Let's see what happens here now. It's back here now. 6.18, be it resolved that the Board of Education in Ellenville Central School District, that the disciplinary settlement for employee 3095, a copy of which shall be placed on file with the district clerk, is hereby approved. Moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? 1. Motion carries. All right, we will go back to 7.1. It's been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Go on to budget resolutions for this evening. Resolved that the 24-25 school budget calendar be adopted.
So moved.
Been moved? Second. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Under education resolutions, 9.1, be resolved, attached list of student IEPs be acknowledged as appropriate. There are 62.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Volunteers, resolve the following volunteers be approved for the 23-24 school year.
Move the list.
List has been moved.
Second.
Second. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries.
Move 10-1 to 10-11.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Under other, under 11. 11.1, resolve 23-24 winter, spring, and physical education bid be accepted.
So moved.
Moved? Second? Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 11.2, resolve Board of Education, Ellenville Central School District approve the agreement with the State University of New York. On
So
behalf of,
moved.
it's been moved. Second? All, discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries.
Motion to move 11-3 to 11-6.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Mark your calendars. The next meeting of this board will be December 12th, 2023. And I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? We're adjourned.